This is one of the biggest myths in gaming history. The franchise called Final Fantasy was never supposed to become a franchise at all. It began as one desperate shot from a young developer who thought he might be out of the industry if this game failed. In the mid-1980s, Square was not the giant people know today. It was still trying to prove itself, and Sakaguchi had already worked on games that did not become major hits. So when he pushed for a new fantasy RPG, this did not feel like the start of an empire. It felt like a gamble. And here is where the story gets more interesting. A lot of people repeat that the name came from Square being finished. But Sakaguchi later clarified that the truth was more complicated. He wanted a title that could become FF, and the final name came together from that idea, not from one simple legend. So the title was not just Doom. It was branding, instinct, and pressure colliding in one moment. The game carried the mood of a last chance, but the name also came from a practical creative decision. That makes the origin story better, not smaller. Because real history is almost always messier than the myth. But a title alone does nothing. The real miracle was the team. Composer Nobuo Uematsu gave the game emotional weight. Artist Yoshitaka Amano helped define its fantasy identity. Pixel artist Kazuko Shibuya turned that world into something the Famicom could actually show. What they built was bigger than a simple Dragon Quest clone. Final Fantasy pushed atmosphere, visual identity, and a sense of adventure that felt grand even inside brutal hardware limits. You can almost feel the ambition fighting the machine. There was even a business fight at the end. Sakaguchi later said the initial shipment was going to be only 200,000 copies. He pushed for 400,000 instead. Think about that for a second. Even near release, he was still fighting to give the game a future. Then the impossible happened. The game landed on December 18, 1987, and instead of ending a career, it launched one of the most important RPG series ever made. The title that sounded like an ending became a beginning no one could have predicted. So what really saved Final Fantasy? The name, the risk, or the people behind it? And how many legendary franchises were only one failed release away from never existing at all? Subscribe and stay with me for the next forgotten turning point in gaming history.